The grandfather of all internet scams is called the Nigerian prince scam. The setup is very simple. The scammer convinces their victims that they will give them a lot of money if they wire some funds in advance, hence the name. This scam that originated out of Nigeria has now grown into a worldwide $20 billion industry with thousands of victims in the West. Even though these scams sound amateurish, they are anything but. The modern version of the scam is run professionally from call centers with professionally sourced lead lists. The most common victim of this scam is usually old, frail, and easy to manipulate. The scammers will often come up with a sob story and use emotional manipulation tactics to cheat them out of their money.
You piece of you motherfucker, you lost father.
But somewhere in the mid-2000s, the internet said it has had enough. Welcome to The Context, and today we're going to talk about scam baiting, or the people who are fighting back. The goal of scam baiting is to try to get information about scammers and waste their time. The biggest scam baiting online forum, 419ether.com, is a full online community with over 1.7 million forum threads. The forum was first established in 2003 to tackle the growing issue of 419 emails, a scam that promises people huge amounts of money in return for a small upfront fee. It's gotten to the point where people can actually pinpoint the exact location of where the scammers are. They gather genuinely educational, useful anti-fraud information to help people stay on top of popular scam schemes, like antifraudnews.com. Moreover, now this phenomenon is hugely popular online, with very influential YouTube producers being in on the scene. Some of them include Mark Robber, for example, has 28.1 million subscribers. He had a year-long operation that resulted in them releasing cockroaches and glitter bombs in scammy call centers. This may sound trivial, but they did manage to get a dozen scam centers shut down for a few days. Or take, for example, Jim Browning, who has 3.78 million subs, and he hacks CCTV cameras and he spies on scam centers and he made the BBC News. There's also Kid Boga with 2.28 million subs. He live streams his calls with scammers. He has a voice modulator to sound like an old lady. He built a virtual machine with a fake bank account and fake Google Play Store, which he shows to the scammers. His whole thing is to troll them to waste as much of their time as possible. These channels are super entertaining and successful. They have millions of views and subscribers. Most of the commenters call them heroes. And these people make enough money from streaming YouTube or Patreon and Twitch to do this full-time as a living. There's also Rosie Okumara. She initially started her scam baiting channel in response to her mother being scammed out of $500. She's a professional voice actor and she has more than 1.5 million followers now.
Calling with your direct deposit of $499.
Yes, this is Mark Wilson from the Social Security Administration. Talk with customer, press 1.
So what we're saying is basically that this is now an entire cottage industry devoted to scammers. Which one do you want? Like most things on the internet, scam baiting is not without its own controversies. There's the practice that they call the trophy rooms, in which they make scammers take pictures of themselves, most often than not doing something embarrassing. One of the problems with that is that most scammers are people from poor countries, and most people doing the scam baiting are people from rich countries, so... And since they're doing it for internet points and clout and followers and fame, there's always the question whether they're really doing it for vigilant justice, or is it only for the cruel enjoyment of humiliating other people on the internet?
Humiliation.
Trophy rooms aside, scam baiters have been tremendously successful on exposing just how big the global scamming industry has become. Long gone are the days when scams were committed by people sitting in Nigeria in internet cafes targeting Westerners. Modern scamming is a professionalized, wide-scale industry with companies masquerading as legitimate businesses, hiring scammers to do their bidding and paying them a cut on each successfully committed scam. In March 2020, an anonymous YouTuber and grey hat hacker under the nickname Jim Browning infiltrated and gathered drone and CCTV footage of a fraudulent call center scam operation in India with the help of fellow YouTube personality Carl Rock. Through the aid of the British documentary program Panorama, a police raid was carried out, leading to the arrest of a call center operator Amit Chauhan, who also operated a fraudulent travel agency under the name Fairmore Travels.
Dosto, I've got some very, very good news. I got a call from the police last night at midnight. That's usually not a good thing, but this was a very, very good call. They called me to tell me they had raided Fairmont Travels Private Limited. the very call center that Jim Browning and I exposed this week. How quick were they, nah?
The most common type of scam is the Amazon, Microsoft, Disney refund scam. This works in a way that the scammer basically calls you, they tell you that they're an agent of aforementioned companies and that they accidentally wired you too many funds and they ask you to refund the money. So the victim wires the money back thinking that it's the company's money, when in fact they're wiring funds out of their savings account. 90% of the victims are over 65 and vulnerable. They target the most vulnerable, like cancer patients. So like the lead list that they have, it does list what kind of morbidities they have, so people in hospitals, people in desperate situations, and so on. And what's mind-blowing is that the estimated earnings of just a single call center is $65,000 a day. Moreover, they don't use the word scam or victim, they call their agents salespeople and the victims customers, just to show you how super up this is. It's gotten so bad that even employees can be fooled into taking the role in the first place. A BBC article in 2020 details the story of an ex-scammer, Sam, who was told at the initial interview that the role was a sales job, pitching products to customers in the USA. He said that after a training, he was placed into a live call situation, and that was the point where he realized that he was working in a scam center. So just picture this, like this kind of job requires the level of intelligence where you can dupe and manipulate people, but you have to be dumb enough to believe that you're doing an actual job rather than scamming people. Sam was supposedly earning more money than a university graduate in his country, so when you live around abject poverty, who can really challenge that? And that's the problem. As long as global inequality exists and the internet makes scamming people easy and law enforcement has other priorities or simply just doesn't give a shit, this problem will remain forever. There's only so much internet vigilantism can do, and things like the 49 Eaters and a lot of the grey hat hacking that they do can actually get people in legal trouble in their home countries. So it's obviously a sketchy situation. Nonetheless, the scam baiter scene has done a tremendous job in preparing people and training people in basic anti-fraud practices, and the content is kind of hilarious.
Why are you leaving? Why are you?
Thank you for watching today's episode of The Context. I was your host, Gergő Varga, and I hope to see you soon again.